Okay, so I'm Tapiwa Ndlovu. I'm the Youth Programs Coordinator at Education Matters. And as part of the things that I work on RISE. And so I'm the country representative for RISE right now. And just to give you a bit of information about RISE. So RISE is a program that finds brilliant young people who need opportunity and supports them for life as they work to serve others. The program starts at ages 15 and 17 and offers a lifetime of benefits, including scholarships, mentorship, access to career development opportunities, funding, and more as global winners work towards solving humanity's most pressing problems. It's an initiative of Schmidt Futures and Rhodes Trust, and RISE is the anchor program of a billion-dollar commitment from Eric and Wendy Schmidt to find and support global talent. So today I'm going to start off by introducing our main speaker. We're joined by Shamila Mpinga. Shamila is the Residential Summit Coordinator for RISE at Rhodes Trust. In this role, she's responsible for assisting with the development of RISE programming in relation to the Residential Summit, which is hosted every year for winners. Shamila has spent a large part of the last 9 years in higher education. She graduated with a law degree from the University of KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa. In 2017, she was awarded the Mandela Rhodes Scholarship to read for a master's in mining law at the University of Cape Town. Thereafter, she pursued a master's in law and finance at the University of Oxford as a Rhodes Scholar. She recently completed a master's in business administration and at the Said Business School at the University of Oxford, where she focused on impact investing. We're also joined by two RISE winners from Zimbabwe this year, Nyasha Makaya and Greylunga. I'll give Nyasha and Tegre an opportunity to introduce themselves later as they share a bit about their RISE experience so far. But first we'll hear from Shamila. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for allowing me to sort of engage with you all today. I'm just going to share my screen so that we can all walk through this together. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Alrighty, so I'm here to just discuss what RISE is and just give you an overview of the program. So what is RISE? RISE is obviously a global program, and it was founded by Schmidt Futures and the Rhodes Trust. And like Tapiwa said, Schmidt Futures is a philanthropy by Eric and Wendy Schmidt, and Eric Schmidt is the former CEO of Google. The Rhodes Trust is an organization that has been around for over 100 years now, and it administers the Rhodes Scholarship for candidates to study at the University of Oxford. So what is our purpose at RISE? It's very similar to Education Matters. We want to find brilliant people and match them to different opportunities, and we obviously support them for life so that they can serve others. Our philosophy is that there are a lot of brilliant people out there, but not all of them have opportunities. And so RISE is basically a platform that gives some of these brilliant people the opportunities that they need to grow. Now, what makes RISE different? RISE is for life, which means that the winners get supported through their endeavors that are for social impact throughout their entire life. They get scholarships for their studies. They get funding for their entrepreneurial ventures. They get mentorship and other sort of benefits that will support them in their leadership journey. Now, RISE is a global community. We have a number of candidates coming from all over the world. We had candidates from over 170 countries that applied for the RISE opportunity, and we have them all on a Discord channel, so they all get to share ideas, which is quite great. Now, at RISE, we look for brilliance, and brilliance comes in different forms. You have people that have studied or have an interest in maths and science. You have people that are interested in the arts and history, and just various forms of brilliance, and that's what we're looking for. Now, like I said, RISE is a global community. We had tens of thousands of applicants from over 170 countries. And our first cohort of winners comprises winners from 42 countries, and they speak a number of languages. We also have a number of partners and collaborators from all over the world that we're working with, and Education Matters is one of them. Now, what do we offer on the program? Everyone benefits from applying for this opportunity. And what I mean by this is that you get to work on the RISE challenge during the application process. And this is basically an opportunity to explore a challenge or something in the applicants' community that they want to explore. And by doing this, this can be counted as an extracurricular activity. And we know that, extracurricular activities aren't necessarily available in all regions of the world. And so by doing the RISE program, this will count as an extracurricular activity, and they get to meet other people from all over the world. So that's a good benefit. We have 500 finalists. They get to benefit from various online courses relating to entrepreneurship and leadership. They also have access to additional funding opportunities to experiment with innovative ideas. And then we have our 100 global winners. They have benefits for life that will help them to basically scale their impact. These benefits include needs-based college scholarships and invitation to the RISE Residential Summit, which we're all very much looking forward to. And they also have access to career services. So there are plenty of benefits for everyone who sort of seeks out this opportunity. Like I said, there's access to the expert lessons. We've had quite a few in the first round of applications. There's a very interesting one, Demonstrate Your Grit, with Angela Duckworth. We had a number of workshops that will just help all of the participants grow in various forms. For instance, the expert workshop on compassionate leadership. We also had a number of community events like this. This event right here was the Global Gathering for Good, which many participants enjoyed thoroughly. We also have our Discord community where sort of, participants in RISE. Can everyone see my screen? Yes. So our Discord community is basically a platform for our participants to engage with other on different interests like maths, history, science, engineering. We also have a lot of world issues that they discuss on the Discord channel, like education, different social issues, the environment, poverty, healthcare, and you obviously have sort of your leisurely discussions that also happen relating to fashion, sports, and anything that might be humorous like memes. So how do you apply for this opportunity? So like Tapiwa said, RISE is an opportunity for candidates between the ages of 15 and 17 years old from around the world, and they get to participate in the RISE challenge. Now, RISE is different from traditional applications because the applicants get to submit different videos and they get to engage in the project, and that's how they basically assessed. Now, how do you apply? There are 3 stages in the application process, and these are the various deadlines. The first one relates to just introducing yourself and telling us more about yourself. In the second one, you get to engage in the RISE challenge where you create your project. And the last stage is sort of the finishing off the challenge. And so please take note of the first deadline, which is the 22nd of December. So please make applicants aware of that initial deadline. So we had a number of interesting RISE projects, and these are a few of them. You had, various projects ranging from ones that dealt with education, health, fashion, dance, the arts. And so, like I said, brilliance comes in different forms, and this is what we're looking for. Now, what do we look for in a RISE winner? There are 5 different traits, and these are the traits. So you have brilliance, perseverance, integrity, empathy, and calling. Calling basically means that the person is drawn towards a certain something that they're really, really passionate about. And this is what we're looking for when we say calling, that you're passionate about something, and we'll basically give you the resources to explore that further. Now, applications are done on the Hello World app. And so we have other forms of sort of submitting the application, and these are all available at www.risefortheworld.org, and all of the details are available on there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shamila, for sharing. I hope that was really helpful to all the guidance counselors on the call to share with your students. And so I will also share that information with you later. You can either type your email in the chat if you're not already in the guidance counselor WhatsApp group. Now I kind of want to pass on to Tegra and Yasha, who I mentioned earlier, are RISE winners from the inaugural cohort this year. And so RISE and Yasha, Tegra and Yasha, I'd like to give you the opportunity to kind of give a brief introduction to yourselves. You can choose who goes first and answer those questions I sent you earlier.
Okay, good afternoon.
Hi, Tegra.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Greylunga, and I'm a Congolese from DRC, but currently living in Zimbabwe. And currently, I'm in my first year of high school at USAP Community School, taking 7 subjects, which are maths, physics, chemistry, and research method, humanities, reasoning, and computers. Yeah, so out of school in my community of Tongogara refugee camp, I'm a tutor in the twins program. So twins literally means together with educationally empower non-privileged students. So this is sort of what I've been doing for my Rise Challenge project. So as twinners, as twin members, what we actually do is we do the voluntary tutoring of all level students, like our fellow brothers and sisters in the community. The targets are usually O-level candidates, candidates who are about to sit for their exam. Besides tutoring, we also do the scholarship awareness, where we connect our fellow brothers and sisters to outside world opportunities. And we also do motivational speeches, and we also do like some campaigns like the COVID awareness. Yeah, these are the kinds of campaigns that we usually do. So personally, I meet my tutees on three times a week, which is Tuesday, Thursday, and on Saturdays when I'm at home. And when I'm at school, like right now, there is a twins WhatsApp group that is created where I usually pitch in and answer some of the questions students usually drop in when I'm available, so I could answer those questions. So personally, I did the tutoring as part of my project because I I have 3 reasons for that. The first reason is because I just like sharing my intelligence with my fellow brothers and sisters, and this is is a bit close to my motto, the one I came up with, which is care for the world. My neighbor's happiness is my happiness too. That's the kind of motto that I came up with. And the second reason is I have the intention of helping raise the rate of educated youth in my community of Tongogara refugee camp. And I also have the intention of helping raise the pass rate of students at St. Michael's, which is the only secondary school in my community. Yeah. And so Twins, it's actually a non-profit program run by refugee youths other refugee youths, and I myself. So what I would say for the Rise Challenge project is that the Rise Challenge project was actually something that would help you identify your passion and understand the true you, who you really are. And for the Rise projects, I included a lot of documents to certify my things. So the first document that I included is my refugee document. I also included my O-level results. I also included my recommendation letters from my headmasters, both from my former school and from my current school. Recommendations. I also included like documents of the clubs I've been participating in. So as a Rise Global winner, I have a lot of expectations, some few expectations. Yeah, the first is um looking forward to the Rise helping me to connect and to work hand in hand with the world's international organization to make the twins program exposed to the world, to make it known to the world. I'm also looking forward to the Rise helping me raise some funds for my projects and my upcoming projects. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Great. Thank you so much, Tegra, for sharing. I'll now hand over to Nyasha to kind of give us a brief introduction of himself and his experience with Rise so far.
So I am Nyasha Makaya, an upper six student at USAP Community School currently. So I'm doing math, physics, chemistry, then humanities, reasoning, and computers for my subjects. I recently finished writing my Cambridge A-level exams. So yeah. So for the RISE application, I can say that it was a challenging but interesting process. Um, so for stage one, I had to complete an application form, and yeah, parts of the application form was straightforward, but there were some parts which were quite hard, especially the logical problems, which were sort of like mathematical problems I had to solve. Yeah, so I basically took about 2 days to complete the application form. Then I was done. Then I went for stage two, which was the RISE challenge. So my RISE challenge was basically investigating deforestation in Mapungauzi, which is the area I live in, Gokwe. And this was driven by my passion to fight climate change. And I discovered that there is a lot of deforestation happening in my area. So I wanted to investigate the causes and the consequences and the solution that I could come up with to solve that problem. So I used interviews, like I interviewed the people who lived in my area, and I also carried out survey to find out information more on the topic. Then after doing all the analysis of the data, my short-term solution to the problem was creating a WhatsApp group in which I was to educate people on deforestation and how it is linked to climate change and how to stay away from deforestation. And after that, I had to go for the RISE interview. Like the interview day was such an amazing day, although it was very long. So I got to interact with other RISE participants, who were really amazing and innovative, and I really loved it. So then I got accepted as a RISE winner. And right now I am looking forward to the RISE Residential Summit. I'm really looking forward to it. And the other thing that I'm looking forward to are the RISE courses that some of them I'm just doing right now. For example, I'm doing the DC Design Thinking course, which is method of solving problems by approaching them from the user's perspective, and also including the users, the people who use the solution, and you then include them in the process of designing the solution. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Nyasha and Tegra. We also have a third Zimbabwean winner. Unfortunately, she's at school at Monte Cassino and isn't able to join us. But hopefully in upcoming events, people also get to hear a bit more about her project as well. This kind of brings us to the end of our panel session. But I do want to ask if Notando Kudzai have any questions about the program that you think your students would like to have answered.
Right. Thank you, Tapiwa, and good afternoon, everyone. For me, it's of course, I've heard about RISE, but I really hadn't taken much of an interest, but I think this is quite an interesting program, and I think a number of my students would be very much interested in this. But then I just need clarification. I know that there are a number of programs, especially maybe where Education Matters is involved, whereby we do have students coming from underprivileged backgrounds, and then they get opportunities and all that. But then the challenge that I have, I'm a teacher at a trust school, Christian Brothers College, Bulawayo. And so at times I do have instances whereby my students don't qualify for certain programs. So I need clarification on this one. It's just a matter of brilliance, passion, calling and all that. So it doesn't matter. It's not to say that all of them can afford, being at the private school, but there are some others who are struggling, and then but parents make a sacrifice and then they're able to send them there. So are such students also able to take part in this program?
Yes, so I can take this question for now. So Education Matters does typically work with students from more underprivileged backgrounds. However, with RISE, it is open to anyone just because of the structure of the program. It is a lot more about finding students who are making positive impact in their community, as opposed to, I guess, only finding students who need financial aid. And so all students are eligible to apply. There isn't any minimum requirement in terms of finances in order to apply. And so even within our finalist pool, there are some students who are not from underprivileged communities.
Okay, thank you very much.
Notand, I'd like to add to that. You spoke about students that might not necessarily be performing well academically. So with the RISE application, we don't necessarily look at academic results from schools. We have our own assessments that are done on the RISE platform itself. And so I guess that's an additional differentiating factor in RISE that makes sure that we don't exclude anyone from the application process.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Because I don't know. I know you missed the earlier part of the presentation, but do you have any questions for either Shamila, who works at the Rhodes Trust as the RISE Residential Summit Coordinator, and Tegra and Nyasha are winners from RISE for this year?
No questions. Thank you, Tapiwa.
Awesome.
Okay,
so if, yeah.
Sorry, yes, I do have another question. I noticed that the ages were looking at 15 to 17. So meaning that our Form 3s can apply, like we're looking at Form 3 and up to somewhat lower 6s and maybe a few upper 6s.
Yes,
And then, so in terms, I just want to sound this so that at least when I get questions as well, I'm able to respond. So somehow Form 3s, Form 4s, are they able now to handle the demands of O-level preparation and then also doing the RISE program at the same time?
Great. So I can take this as well, I think, and then I'll hand over to Shamila if she has anything to add. So in terms of the age range, as you saw in Shamila's slides, it's 15 to 17 as of July 1st, 2022. So you may also find that some students who are 14 right now will turn 15 in time, and some students may age out before next year. And so it is based on their age, but in terms of the requirements of doing the RISE program, so a lot of it is very flexible, except perhaps the residential summit, which will be required for students to go to where the summit is being hosted. There may be an instance where it may clash with the Zimbabwean academic calendar, but that would be something that Education Matters as the local partner would be able to work with students to kind of figure out the best way to plan around that based on our understanding of the Zimbabwean academic context specifically. But I can pass over to Shamila if you have anything to add.
Yeah, just to add to that, you spoke about who would necessarily qualify for this also. So we did say 15 to 17 years old, and they must be at this age by 1st of July, 2022. So those are the qualifying candidates. And then I guess Tapiwa answered the rest of your question.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Great. So thank you so much for joining us. In the chat, I'll just quickly share where you can contact Education Matters to ask any country-specific questions about RISE, as well as to get you in contact with any of the RISE staff if you have very specific questions from your students. And in the meantime, I hope that you'll also visit the website to learn more about RISE and advertise to your students. And this also goes for Nyasha and Tegra continuing to advertise to their peers all over, whether that's back home or on your campus. So thank you all so much for joining us, and feel free to reach out with any other questions that you may have. I will be sharing this recording in the counselors group chat. And so if you know any other educators from other schools or even on your campus who would be interested in learning about RISE, feel free to share that recording with them as well. So thank you all so much. Thank you, Shamila, for taking time out of your day to come and speak to us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.